Oh yes, welcome back to Marvel Contest of Champions News. It's your Wednesday hump edition of the news. We're halfway through the week, guys. We'll get there eventually. It's been a pretty shitty 48 hours in game based on the fact of some issues, but we'll talk about further updates and other stuff that's going on in the game. Let's roll it. Our first story is a reminder that the Intel store is going to be shutting in 2 days' time, so please do make sure that you pick up as much Intel as possible, as I believe that as of today we're starting collecting some new things. But at the point of recording this video today, and I am confusion, because look, we've still got apparently a further 6 days to run of the calendar of Intel. Yeah, I'm really confused about this. So the store ends in 2 days, but we're then still collecting for the calendar. I think this is probably some sort of bug or issue, but Kabam have got a lot on their plate at the moment, and we will talk about that in a second. So let's just think this is a bug, and it will be sorted out at some point. They'll probably remove the calendar for more Intel, so we're technically allowed to collect more Intel, but the store closes in 2 days. Meh. Next up is Infinity Dust making some sort of comeback. Now, for a time, I used to see Infinity Dust's like icon there for a long time. When you clicked on your resources, it was always there, and then it went, or I can't really remember it. Is it a case that it is going to be returning back to us for May? Maybe. It would be nice to see. I'd love to have a store similar to that, the Intel store, similar to the Infinity Dust store, because I love the Infinity Dust store. There was ways of getting like millions of dust and getting some really decent items, so I'm really hoping that this does make a comeback for May, but I don't know with Kabam if whether or not they'd be interested in doing something like that. In April, it looks like we're getting these kind of weird doodah things called Antimatter. I don't know who she is. She's maybe a relative on your mum's side, or maybe a friend of the family. Antimatter! Don't know why she's Jamaican for some reason. In any case, these can be exchanged for crystals, but we still haven't had any kind of further information of what crystals are actually there. Wait until the update goes technically live. I mean, technically the update is live, but the update of the actual event at about 6 PM GMT time, or whatever time it is where you are. Next up, and cue the monthly post all about war tanking, war throwing, whatever you want to call it. It's a thing. It's unfortunate that it has to be a thing in Marvel Contest of Champions, but it is. This is something Kabam need to address. Yes, it's going to be beneficial for some alliances to make quick progression up to certain placements which maybe they didn't think they could get if they constantly did war and constantly tried to keep their war rating intact. So yeah, I don't really know what to say. It is something that happens every month. It's something Kabam should deal with, but at the same time, it benefits some others. So it's a strategy, and we've had a lot of different strategies over the seasons that Kabam have gone like, do you know what, that may be seen as more of a, not really as a strategy, but more of a type of exploit of the event, and then look to make some changes. But they haven't touched this one, so it will just be a thing from time to time. Either way, a lot of these posts do spring up around this time. Next up, and we have been fooled. Yes, we have been April fooled. And the fact is, it's kind of weird. Like, if you remember on, I think it was Monday, we did the April Fool's kind of special, and we looked at the fact that there was this kind of data mined information which Ultrix had kind of put, and it was like this kind of like these fake things, and I was still kind of on the fence of like where that comes from, whether or not that was an April Fool's for Ultrix, whether or not it was Ultrix playing an April Fool's, I don't know. Either way, it was funny to see, but I was kind of thinking that we might have had something for there, considering that last year there was something done for April Fool's. I believe there was a Deadpool based event, and it was kind of fun. Although, you know, prior to that, Kabam did give us those gifts. But let's just say that maybe the April Fool's was actually the update, which went out a little bit earlier and literally just scuffed the game. And we will touch on that in a moment. If you've seen yesterday's deep dive into the current issues that have come about from the recent update, I'll put a link in the description below, and I'll keep you up to date with it. It was a bit too long to condense into an MCC news because there was a lot of things to cover and lots of issues to kind of like explain to you, so you weren't thinking that you were playing crap. It was actually the developer and the stupid update. And there's been a few memes knocking around about the update, but like I said, we'll touch on that in a minute. Either way, it's disappointing to see something not capitalized on the April Fool's event, but I guess we'll have to wait for another year. We've been fooled. Okay, so while mid-editing, I was like, I'll check on the forum and found that this is a kind of a response to that April Fool's malark. They're kind of like, are we getting something? Are we not? And I'm still like undecided on this, like whether or not we're actually going to get some sort of event. But it looks like, I think, just Kabam are trolling, and it's kind of, as even this person states here, you know, it was funny on April Fool's, but it's just a case with a bad update that they've released, which predominantly could be the April Fool's. Having something like this, if they're not going to release something, I just don't care. I think I've reached a point where I've gone, look, bad update, didn't really do anything for April Fools. It looked like we were teasing something for it, and now we're left with something like this. Yeah, it's a couple days old now. Should have been done on April Fools, not now. He was saying I just have to stop them from rolling it back. What, the update, because the new update is really bad? Yeah, roll it back. Yeah, that would be a good idea, good thinking. Next up, and we've got John Tracy here from Thunderbirds. No, in fact, it's Johnny Storm. Yeah, even though he does look like some kind of Thunderbirds-like character, the fact is, yeah, it's cool to see this. We've got the next Fantastic Four. We've got 2 more to collect. Hopefully a Doctor Doom at a later point. But it's all very exciting stuff. The bit of bone of contention is, what's this to do with? Now, I spoke with Otrux, we had a little discussion about this, and the idea that they'll probably implement some sort of time travel. Whether or not this is something that's going to be a clue for next month, and talking about the idea of some sort of time travel into the future and what things might happen. This is going to be quite cool. I like the idea of doing a little bit of time travel, especially considering what would Human Torch be like as an old Human Torch? Would he be, well, you'd kind of assume he'd be less powerful, but it could be one of those scenarios where the older a character gets, more powerful they get. Who knows? More wiser, more strategically sound? I don't know. Next up, and you have to watch this video. This is a funny little video. Even though it's Marvel Contest of Champions news, or MCOC news, I'm out of a bloody job. Kabam doing comic book history. Katy doing the news. I better get down to job centre. Better find another job. They took my job. Now, but in all seriousness, this is a very well put together video. A link is in the description. I really strongly urge you, if you want to laugh, I would go and watch it now. Go watch it. Next up, and the update on a bad update. And the fact is, there's no update. This is very disappointing to see at this moment in time. I know as of yesterday, or maybe the day before actually, they were saying a lot about, we're going to take this to the game team, we'll see what we can do. But the problem is, there is an extensive amount of issues with the game. There's one bit of good news in that there's an issue that has been located. So they are finding the issues, but it's not extensive across the field. Small wins in certain areas is good, but then there's other stuff that needs to be found, needs to be fixed, and I don't know what the lay of the land is. Can they fix this easily? Does it require a hotfix? Does it require a whole new update whatsoever? I just don't know. I will keep you updated on this. I am hoping that a lot is fixed prior to the new event going live, because we don't want to go up against difficult content knowing that stuff like this is affecting our gameplay. And like I said, if you are thinking about using some of the champions being affected by these issues, then make sure to kind of take a little break and kind of wait until they've then done the fix, so you can then use them again and feel comfortable that you're able to smash through content. I sound like some sort of like aftercare type person. If you've been affected by any of these stories, then please contact somebody who actually cares. But I do care. I care about you. And that's right, I use the Brian Grant method. Works every time. Also, it looks like there has been some updated information. As per usual, as I'm editing, it looks like some stories are broken, and this one in particular is that there has been an update on what they're going to look at, and they are indeed looking to a hotfix. These are the listed issues, and obviously they're very varied. I've noticed a few things that were mentioned in yesterday's video that haven't been touched upon, which is disappointing to see. Hopefully it's a case more get added and more get dealt with. And in particular, it's good to see ones that we haven't even mentioned, or I haven't seen personally, but they have been, look like they're going to be dealt with. It still depends on how quickly they can get these fixes out and the way that maybe the AI functions. As I've said, it is disappointing if it's a case that we get problems going up against a nihilist or difficult content. And I would stress, yes, just take your time. Just make sure that the hot fix is put in first before then committing to doing these more difficult bits of content, just in case you get absolutely screwed over and have to then use your units and revives and things don't exactly plow in your favor. Next up, and it's new arena time. Yes, we've got Annihilus and we've got Agent Venom. Now, it's very difficult to pinpoint this particular cutoff. I think people will be interested in the champion based on its usage and the fact that it's going to be a pain in the butt. But the extent of how things scale, how difficult it is as a defender, is it going to be really good as an offensive champion? Will people go into the unknown with it? It's difficult to say, but I'm going with a 5-star cutoff of 48 mil, which is slightly more than expected for a featured, but also slightly less than the overhype status. When we're looking overhype, we're looking at about 55 mil nowadays. And when it's kind of like a lower hype champ, anything around about 42 mil. So it kind of puts it, a little bit in the middle of that. The 4-star version of Annihilus, I'm going for 10.8mm, which is slightly less, but the fact is, you just don't know. Like, we kind of tried to put a score on Nick Fury of about 12, maybe 13mm, but that was stupid because at the end of the day, people aren't hitting those cutoffs. Some people do not see viability in a 4-star anymore, so that's what I'm doing. I'm going with 10.8mm. And then 4-star Agent Venom, I'm going for 1.65mm, which I think is absolutely fine for that one. Boom. In any case, thank you very much for watching this video. If you did enjoy it, hit the like button and subscribe for more Marvel Contest of Champions based content and news. I'll keep you up to date as and when I know more information on the fixes, hopefully soon for the update, because it has been pretty shitty. In any case, if you've got any thoughts on the stories that we covered today, put them in the comments section below. And at the same time, don't forget to put post notifications on all if you haven't done already. Do check as well, because YouTube like to take them off. Thanks, YouTube. Thanks for the notifications. Also, this is the last day of me doing merch. Link is in the description below as well if you do want to check that out. And if you could support me as a creator, then please consider hitting the join button. Links are in the description below for that. But if you just go to the main page and click the join button, that helps out as well. In any case, thanks very much for watching. I shall catch you in the next one. Bye-bye for now.